Hey everyone, I want to take just a moment and talk to you a little bit about the Bible Initiative. As most of you may know, it's something that we've been developing over really the last few years, and we're really excited about helping our people grow in their understanding of the Scriptures. Primarily, we want to help you learn a chronology of what God is doing through the Scriptures in really helping us see His salvation history. The story of who He is and what He's doing and how we're involved in that. And the thread that runs through the Old and the New Testament is Jesus Christ. Everything is really pointing to Him from an Old Testament perspective and, of course, a New Testament perspective. And so I want to give you an example of what I mean by that. In Exodus chapter 17, we read these words. Remember, we find that Moses has led the children of Israel out of Egypt. They've crossed the Red Sea. Now they're in the wilderness. They don't have any food, and God provides manna or bread from heaven for them for their sustenance. And then we have this scene in Exodus 17. The entire Israelite community left the wilderness of Sin, that's where they were located after they crossed the Red Sea, moving from one place to the next according to the Lord's command. They camped at Rephidim, but there was no water for the people to drink. So the people complained to Moses, "Give us water to drink." "Why are you complaining to me?" Moses replied to them. "Why are you testing the Lord?" But the people thirsted there for water and grumbled against Moses. They said, "Why did you ever bring us out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst?" Then Moses cried out to the Lord, "What should I do with these people? In a little while they will stone me." The Lord answered Moses, "Go on ahead of the people and take some of the elders of Israel with you. Take the rod you struck the Nile with in your hand and go. I'm going to stand there in front of you on the rock at Horeb, which is Mount Sinai. When you hit the rock, water will come out of it and the people will drink." Moses did this in the sight of the elders of Israel. He named the place Massah and Meribah because the Israelites complained and because they tested the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord among us or not?" And so it's a great question. A question then, it's a question of antiquity. We're still asking the same question today. Is God with us? Now the non-Christian, he may be asking that in desperation, but really a lot of Christians are asking the same question. Where is God in my time of need? Well, then we go over to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, and we find these words by the Apostle Paul. "Now I want you to know, brothers, that our fathers were all under the cloud. All passed through the sea, and all were baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea. They all ate the same spiritual food, and all drank the same spiritual drink. For they drank from a spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ." Now that's an amazing sentence or a few verses that Paul is sharing and really tying the Old and New Testament together. He's using an Old Testament event as an illustration of Christ, of pointing to Christ, that the rock was not just a one and done event at Mount Sinai, but that rock, he says, was a spiritual rock that stayed with them. It was Christ. Christ was the cloud that was with them. Christ was the manna that fed them. But Christ was also the water that satisfied their thirst. And so the rock always was with them. And so that was the question in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, people are asking the same question. They're asking that today. And Christ is always with us, meeting every need that we have in our life. And so that's kind of what we're talking about as we help you understand the timeline of what's happening, but more importantly, what's the message that God is trying to communicate us about Himself and particularly about Jesus Christ. So I hope you'll really pray and consider joining us September 10th. And again, you can go to our website and sign up for it so we know how many are coming and can plan and prepare appropriately. I hope to see you there. God bless you.